our kids today have so much more access to information, but there's less
Misinformation.
Yes, exactly. And there's less conversation, I think, about, although my mom and dad didn't really have that much to say about on the matter. I think they thought, you'll figure it out. But I know me and my friends, we don't want that. We want our kids to have, a healthy future in relationships. Cut to watching how they break up with people, watching how they're getting dumped. I mean, all these things are like, oh, wait a minute. I thought I did a good job. And we don't know this level of technology. We didn't grow up ghosting.
Yes.
Do you cover those type of current dilemmas with teenagers in the book? How to break up properly and not just ghost or so on and so forth?
Yes. I call it sexual etiquette, and that's something I definitely feel strongly about. Do you talk to the boys in your house about sexual etiquette? Because that's something a mom can do with their son so beautifully. Can make such a difference.
Yes and no. My son, my biological son, I don't feel comfortable as a stepmother with the other ones, but my husband takes care of that. But my son is a little bit shy about it, but I still move forward. I just probably don't have the right verbiage. But so I'm like, I wish I had a great book to hand him. And that's why I was like, oh my God, no shame. Dr. Lea Lis is on the show. I'm handing him this book. But you can't this can't substitute parenting.
No, 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 no. I mean, sexual etiquette is very important. Some things like like no next day ghosting. I always say like, always write it, even if it's not long term, it's not love. You always write on a lovely note the next day, and you can be very clear with that you're maybe not into a relationship from the start of things, which is nice to be clear about your boundaries. But sexual etiquette is very important, and for even parents, see a lot of parents who have kids who are maybe more shy or more socially awkward. And so for those parents, I actually have a section on flirting training and rejection practice, because
Ooh.
not every kid is good at that stuff. And they sometimes need to help the other way around, just like to be more social, to help find their first romantic relationship. And so I think there's a little bit of something for every kind of parent out there.
That's really good. And will it help the teen? Sorry, I'm being so specific. Will it help the teen, like for instance, one that might not want to break up with someone, but they broke up on their end, but won't let that other person go and start seeing other people on the side because they don't know how to let go. They don't want to be the bad guy or don't want to hurt the person's feeling. And as a parent, you can only do so much. You can't ground them. So
Yeah.
how how do you like infiltrate that and try to fix it?
Well, I mean, you're right. You can't say too much, because you can only give a certain amount of welcome advice, and then it may not be welcome anymore. So I think the reality is you can just tell them to be true to their heart and tell them not to lead someone on, because that in the end can cause more issues if they don't really feel it in their heart. But at the end of the day, they're going to make their own decisions. And also, it's really important that you lead by example. So if you live a life where you're honest with your person and your partner, and you try to express yourself in a positive way, then they're going to learn from that as well. So, but you got to let them. You got to let them learn. They got to let them make mistakes, and they will get burned by that kind of behavior in the end, because when they do break up, the
Totally.
breakup will be more painful. So maybe that's just the lesson they have to learn.